The retirement gap. This is the most misunderstood item when it comes to retirement planning because there's a problem and there's a possibility. The problem is that we all have expenses that must be met in retirement or we'll simply run out of money. The possibility is we can utilize a gap analysis to know if we have a gap and basically know if we're on track or if we're off track. Now, what is a gap analysis? The gap analysis is just simply the first step at looking at the difference between what we want and what we have. So there's dollars we want. That's what we want to spend in our retirement, going out and travel and everything else. And then there is income that's coming in, which is what we have. So let's use an example real quick. Let's talk about Bob and Mary. Their goals are simple. One is they have basic expenses for groceries, utilities, cars, and insurance, and we're going to say that's $3,000 a month. They also want to travel, and that's going to cost them roughly $1,000 a month. So their expenses are what? Their expenses are $4,000 a month. So what is the gap analysis? The first step is looking at the difference between what we want and what we have. So we know in the Bob and Mary situation, the total is $4,000 a month. That is what they want. 1,000 of that is what we call wishes, and then 3,000 of that is what we call needs, because needs is your basic living expenses. Wishes is what they were traveling. So let's look at those. And as we build out this gap analysis, the first thing that we look at is Social Security. And there's been a good deal of legislation changes regarding how you can and when you can apply for Social Security. The most recent major change was in 2015, which basically allows hundreds of different ways that you can qualify for Social Security. So making sure you get this right is vital. The second place we then look at is pensions. Pensions, some of you still may have these, but they are less prominent today. The most options a person had when they came into our office when we did this gap analysis for them is we had one client that had 82 different options. So after they chose the best Social Security and then the best pension, then what is our actual next step? So we're going to make an assumption that they have $1,000 a month for Social Security and they have $1,500 a month that's coming in for pensions. So they have $1,000 plus $1,500, they have $2,500 a month is what is coming in, but they want $4,000 a month. The other thing is there's a problem here. There's one thing called inflation. Inflation is simply just understanding that food, gas, cars, groceries are going to be more expensive in the future because things are going to cost more. So although right now we want $4,000, $2,400 a month is coming in, this space in the middle is what we call a gap. We know that the gap starts at $1,500 a month, which is the difference between the $4,000 and the $2,500. But with inflation, we know that this gap is going to get larger as time goes on. So how do we handle this? The problem is simply you have expenses that must be met in retirement or you're going to run out of money. The possibility is you utilize a gap analysis to know if you have a gap and then decide on where you should allocate your investments to reduce or eliminate the risk of running out of money. So what is next steps? What do I do? Complete that short form below to see what or if you have a gap. We don't charge anything for this service. There's a lot of advisors that will charge lots of different fees for this actual service, but we believe this is one of the ways we can just help you understand and educate you on the most vital piece of financial planning, and that is simply the gap analysis and understanding if, when, or what you have on your gap.